Welcome to Inside New York. America is in crisis. Over 1.5 million have been infected with the deadly coronavirus, and over 100,000 have died. At the same time, we are in the midst of an ongoing protest against police brutality as we fight for justice for George Floyd, the most recent victim of police brutality in a long line. This series is devoted to how we can move forward and survive during these crises. I can't think of a better person to have on who has devoted over 50 years to Black theater, which has always healed us. We are going to be talking with Woodie King with my co-host, Richard Wesley.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's a real pleasure to be here. Hi, Joan.
Yes. So, Richard, this is really a historic moment.
What we have are two major crises, of course. One is the pandemic itself, and the other is a form of pandemic as well. It's the pandemic of racism and racial oppression that have afflicted this country since its founding. Woodie King Jr. is someone who has been both an artist and an activist addressing the latter pandemic of racial oppression in this country.
The similarities between these crises and the 60s, that's when I came into awareness. Okay, yes. You had the March on Washington.
Exactly.
You had, in the 70s, you had things. In the 80s, you had things. In the 90s. So now, the largest march of all is because it's taking place all over America, is George Floyd. And how theaters are competing or surviving. And what we realize is between the March on Washington and George Floyd, major American writers have been speaking out and talking about the conditions of Black Americans. Looking for Leroy is about a young writer, 24, 25, who is influenced by when he was going by the name of Leroy Jones. And he had changed his name in the 60s, 70s to Amiri Baraka.
It was about the relationship I wish I had had with him. I met him a couple of times, which was referenced in the play. A lot of times it was really awkward when I was a journalist and wanted to question him about his change of philosophy, because every time he changed, I tried to change with him.
It was a beautiful challenge, and I had a wonderful design team.
Artists always find a way to create, whether it's dance, whether it's music, whether it's playwriting, okay? And they find a way to give it to people. And
thank you for joining Inside New York. You can catch Woodie King's New Federal Theaters Tuesdays in June, every Tuesday at 3 p.m. And of course, you can catch Inside New York every Saturday at 8:30 p.m. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can access all of our programming on demand and be the first to know about the best in theater, arts, and culture. We'll see you then.